Okay, so you're tuning in because you want to quickly get your head around something important.
Yeah, cut through the noise.
Exactly. And today, that something is the real difference between self-defense jiu-jitsu and, well, combat sports.
A common point of confusion, actually.
It really is. We've looked into material from the Self-Defense Academy, COS, and that includes some insights from their head instructor, Flip Aguilera.
Right.
And our mission, is pretty straightforward. Just pull out those key distinctions.
So you, the listener, can see which path might make the most sense for what you need.
Okay, let's jump right into it. First big thing seems to be real-world relevance.
That's the core, really.
The Academy emphasizes that self-defense jiu-jitsu is built for those totally unpredictable situations, stuff you might actually face.
Yeah, think about it. No rules, no ref, maybe multiple people, who knows?
And your main goal isn't winning a prize. It's just getting home safe.
That's the crucial fork in the road, isn't it? As their material points out, in self-defense, you're not facing someone who signed up for a fair fight.
Not at all.
It's about navigating something unexpected, potentially really dangerous, and just surviving it, minimizing harm.
Right. So, boxing or MMA, that trains you for a regulated contest. Referee, rounds, specific rules.
A willing opponent, more or less.
Yeah. But self-defense jiu-jitsu, from their perspective anyway, is about prepping for absolute uncertainty, a real threat.
It's focused much more on, say, creating space, escaping, surviving that chaos.
Not dominating someone based on points or a judge's decision.
Exactly. It's like preparing for a sudden storm versus preparing for a scheduled game.
That difference in the why shapes everything, doesn't it? The techniques, the whole philosophy.
Absolutely. Self-defense is about managing risk when you have no idea what's coming next.
Okay. Which kind of leads us to their next point, this idea of being a specialist versus a generalist. Now, my first thought might be, okay, specializing in one thing sounds really effective, right?
You think so?
But the Academy actually flips that. They position self-defense jiu-jitsu as the generalist approach, which is interesting.
Well, their reasoning is fascinating. They argue self-defense jiu-jitsu needs to give you a really broad skill set.
Okay.
And importantly, this includes stuff like de-escalation, trying to talk your way out before it gets physical.
Ah, right. So it's not just about the fighting part.
Not at all. It's also about recognizing warning signs, verbal skills, avoiding the violence if you possibly can.
So in combat sports, you get these hyper-specialists like, I don't know, a kickboxer with amazing kicks or a BJJ competitor who's just phenomenal on the ground.
Masters of a specific domain within the rules.
But the self-defense generalist, as they put it, needs a wider toolkit.
Exactly.
Managing distance, creating escape routes.
Yeah.
Yes, defending physically if it comes to that, but also maybe using your words first.
Right, because the goal isn't to win within a system, it's to safely navigate outside any system.
So the specialization in combat sports is about depth in a defined area for competition, whereas the self-defense specialization, if you can call it that, is more about breadth, understanding the messy, unpredictable nature of real conflict.
That seems to be their view. It's a broader understanding of conflict itself, beyond just the physical moves of a regulated match.
Okay, that makes sense. And the third key thing they highlight is mindset, preparedness.
Yeah, and this feels like it goes way beyond just learning, an arm bar or a choke.
Definitely.
Their material really hammers home the importance of having a specific self-defense mindset.
Which means what exactly? Like being paranoid all the time.
No, not paranoid, but aware. Developing a mental alertness to spot potential trouble.
Yeah.
Being able to quickly size up a situation and having the psychological readiness to actually respond effectively if needed.
So it builds confidence.
That's what they suggest, yeah. Confidence and a sense of being in control, even when things feel out of control.
It's almost like the physical training gives you the tools, but the mindset is what lets you actually use them under pressure.
Yeah.
In that high-stress moment.
Exactly. Being aware of surroundings, willing to set boundaries, having that underlying confidence from knowing you can do something.
That seems incredibly important, maybe sometimes more important than just knowing one specific move perfectly.
Well, what's interesting is the idea that just having the physical skill might not be enough if you freeze, or if you don't even recognize the danger signs early on.
Right.
So the Academy seems to be saying that cultivating this proactive, aware mindset is fundamental, a core part of effective self-defense.
Okay, shifting gears just a little bit.
Yeah.
The source, Self-Defense Academy, COS. They give some background too.
Yeah, practical details.
They're based in downtown Colorado Springs. 525 N Cascade Ave, inside a place called the Next Us.
Good to know if you're local.
And the article we're drawing from, it was posted May 2024, but updated October 2024. So they seem to keep things current.
Which is good. Shows they're actively thinking about this stuff.
They also have this core belief, or motto, you are worth defending.
That's powerful, isn't it? Really frames their mission.
It does. It's about empowering people, giving them skills, and the confidence that comes with knowing how to protect themselves.
And they explicitly invite people to visit to learn more about self-defense jiu-jitsu firsthand. So it's very practical, hands-on.
Yeah, seems like it. And they include this quote at the end of the page. Never reply when you are angry. Never make a promise when you are happy. Never make a decision when you are sad. Attributed to Fudoshin.
Wow, okay. That ties right back into the mindset piece, doesn't it?
It really does. Emotional control, making considered decisions, especially under pressure.
That quote perfectly captures that idea of thoughtful action instead of just reacting impulsively.
Yeah.
Which is vital for de-escalation and for actually executing techniques well if you have to.
It reinforces that mental discipline they seem to value so highly.
Definitely.
And looking at their site quickly, it seems they offer more than just one type of class.
Oh, yeah.
They've got programs like Fighting Foundations, Fighting Mastery, something for youth, even corporate team building and seminars.
Okay, so quite a range.
Yeah, suggests a pretty comprehensive approach.
Which implies that, while they draw that clear line between self-defense jiu-jitsu and combat sports, they're likely using a diverse set of skills within their training. It's maybe less about totally different moves and more about the focus and application.
Right, the context and the goal change everything.
Exactly.
And hey, for anyone listening in the Colorado Springs area, if this sparks your interest, they do list a phone number.
Oh, useful.
It's 719-357-6034. So if this deep dive makes you want to know more, that's a direct way to reach out.
Yeah, good to have that practical next step if this resonates with someone's personal situation or goals.
Okay, so let's try and tie this all together. We've looked at three big differences the Self-Defense Academy COS points out.
Yep, the key distinctions.
First, that real-world relevance. Self-defense jiu-jitsu is designed for unpredictable life stuff, where safety is number one.
Unlike the controlled environment of sport.
Second, the specialist versus generalist idea. Self-defense, in their view, needs that broader understanding, including de-escalation, not just competitive fighting skills.
A wider lens on conflict.
And third, that crucial role of mindset and preparedness, being mentally ready, aware, and confident to handle threats effectively.
The mental game being just as important, if not more so sometimes.
So the core message, really, from their perspective, self-defense jiu-jitsu is fundamentally about practical self-preservation.
Right. In the messy, unpredictable reality we actually live in, which is just different from a structured sports competition.
So as you're listening, maybe think about what are your priorities when it comes to safety, to being prepared.
Yeah, what are you actually preparing for?
Are you drawn to testing yourself within rules in a contest? Or are you more focused on gaining the tool skills, mindset, the whole package to navigate life's uncertainties and protect yourself if something unexpected happens?
That's really the question to mull over, isn't it? Preparing for a known game versus preparing for the unknown.